Hello and welcome back to Accept the Moments. It took us a while to get this thing started today. So today, you know what? We're going to do a little bit of bonding time. This is an idea from both of our girlfriends, so...
I'm scared. Wait,
yeah,
what
right.
are we bonding?
Talk
Anyway!
about this later. I don't know, Josh, I have a question to start this off for us today. If you could go back in time and ask yourself anything, what would it be?
What are you doing? No, okay, let's see. If I could go back in time, give me an age, because it would be wildly different for each age.
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like with this problem, it's more of like, if there was one thing you could change about your life, personally for me, I'd go back to about 10, just give myself some advice. I mean,
Here's my thing.
I know it's different for everybody too, though.
True. Well, here's my thing. When I was 10, I was actually in school when I was 10, but like, I did really good in school. I was in public school when I was 10. I was in school. The realization. I was in school when I was 10.
Like most 10-year-olds, okay.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, I was homeschooled every other year of my life except for 5th grade.
I was at a forced child labor camp whenever I was 10. I don't know about you. Anyway.
Whoa, wait a minute. We're not talking about Alabama. Anyway.
But there. Oh, yeah, the Hyundai dealership. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Well, I had my life pretty well together when I was 10. I'm not going to lie. It was one of the last years I
Investing
did.
in stocks, you know? Going
Yeah. I don't know. Give me a different age other than 10. Because here's the thing.
I mean, really just pick an age.
Pick an age, any age. I'm the Oprah of ages.
Where do you feel like your life started to really take a turn? Like, why did you decide computer science?
My life started to... Oh, well, I can tell you why I decided computer science. I decided and this is a little bit of a story. I don't know if I've even talked about this yet.
You have not?
So, I chose computer science because I know I've mentioned my co-streamer. Me and him on JO, and I remember I only said that. Me and him on JO, we started just streaming Minecraft. Well, okay, here's some advice. This is 17-year-old me I would tell this advice to, okay? I can tell you want to say something.
You're not going to go with, oh yeah, redstone is the reason I enjoy computer science. Okay, never mind. You are going to say that. You are the look this man gave me.
Okay, it wasn't entirely redstone. It was command blocks. Let's be real here. There's a difference.
Command blocks is actually kind of cool though.
Okay, well here's what happened. We started streaming.
Yeah.
And then we started making, like, legitimate money off of this. I'm holding the stool towards Colton.
You're like...
I picked up a stool in the studio, and I'm pointing it at Colton's face.
Really wish we had cameras for this. He's just like, I asked that question, and
I started, like, playing with a stool.
He started acting like it was a lion tamer, like he's got a whip in one hand and a stool in the other.
We need to set up cameras. Anyway.
Yeah, we're working on it.
We're working on it. Anyway, so... what happened was...
You see what happened was...
We was streaming Minecraft.
There I was.
But anyway, we started making legitimate money streaming Minecraft. And we were... It was really easy talking about money between us two, because neither of us really cared. It wasn't a substantial amount of money to actually do anything with. It wasn't enough.
Yeah,
so we were just like, why would we take any of this money and just have it be not a lot? Let's just put it back into streaming and into the channel and into the community. So we made a Minecraft server. Well, I realized running a Minecraft server with all the plugins, and then if you want different worlds, like a survival world, a creative world, a freaking skyblock world, whatever, it's a lot. Yeah. So I had to learn how to deal with, like, I almost called it back-end Minecraft server hosting. Dude, going through all those files is actually insane.
Dude, no, it is a lot of work. Minecraft itself is, especially back in the day, was complicated to do anything with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, it's, yeah.
Doing the files and first off, balancing plugins and making sure they don't conflict, that's already so difficult, because some of these plugins are like 3 million files. And each of those files is like hundreds of lines long. And you have to make sure that none of those files conflict with another plugin's 30,000 million billion.
Yeah.
And doing that with every single plugin. When realistically you're using a certain plugin because it's like, I like this one feature on this plugin. It's like, I like that it makes my chat blue. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So making sure none of that conflicts, especially permissions. Like, here's what a user can do versus here's what an admin can do versus here's what an owner can do. Those are the worst. And after doing all that, I was like, I want to just do command blocks. Although I don't know how to do anything command blocks. But up until that point, I had been doing a ton of redstone, like farms and stuff like that.
Command block code I know is like super complicated because it's written.
It's difficult.
I forget what language it's written in. It's written in like C or a variant of C, isn't it?
I think it's a variant of a language. I don't think actual like Minecraft code is real life. I may be wrong, but I don't think it's a real life language.
Code. It's just a.
I mean, it's real code because Minecraft says it is, but I don't think it's a legit like real language.
No, I mean like he pulled just a very unknown language for it. Like it is.
Maybe it's super intense on its syntax, but it's also just each command block is one line of code. Mm-hmm. So like you think about how we code. Anywhere, any IDE or even Notepad if you're doing like Python or if you're like me right now.
Python. It's so like...
I love Python. But I couldn't understand Python at first because I thought like I couldn't dumb myself down enough and like to know how to do Python. Because I was used to Java like syntax.
Yeah, we both started off on Java. And Java's like the authoritarian state of coding.
It really is. And then Python's just like, I'm going to tell you to do something, you just do it right on over there. That's how Python works. It's like the
one-tooth uncle from Alabama that we
It really
all have.
is. Listen, if anyone's here, you can, look, if you can write a paper in the 3rd grade, you can learn Python. Now, if you're like me and can't write a paper in the 3rd grade, Python is so easy to, it's easy to learn for someone who hasn't coded before.
Yeah.
Like, I started with Java, and I got used to having to do all the syntax and all of exactness.
Well, also, if you learn on Python, you don't learn how to properly code.
True, because in Python, you have your white space that you have to worry about, which is your tabbing, essentially. Whereas in, like, stuff like Java, it doesn't matter as much. Mm-hmm. Or it doesn't really matter at all.
Well, so getting back to the question. Then,
anyways, getting back.
That's so is that something you'd want to change? Is just like how you.
Here's what I would want to change about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's how I got into coding. By the way, was command blocks. And I got sick of working with the server files and plugins and stuff, so I started doing command blocks on my own.
I mean, it's just that's kind of like the intro of like why this is important anyway.
Right. So here's what I would tell myself then. Because my co-streamer decided that he just got bored of doing this. Which he has a reason for that.
I mean, it happens.
Well, here's what happened with that, though. We were doing like a 2-week countdown to Christmas. And we were streaming every day until Christmas Day. And then we had a big stream on Christmas Day. And that was going to be our streams for like a week or two. During this countdown to Christmas, everyone was going, do a 12-hour stream! Do a 12-hour... And neither of us really wanted to do a 12-hour stream. And it was a week before Christmas. And we went, we have 350 subscribers right now. And if we hit 5... And we talked about it. We're like, what's something impossible? We went, if we hit 500 subscribers by Christmas Day, we will do a 12-hour stream.
I remember you talking about this because I think we knew each other.
Well, sure and well enough, 4 hours before Christmas Day, we hit 500 subscribers. Don't ask me how a channel that small got 150 subs in a week. I really have no idea.
You know what? People probably... honestly, that's a good way to get subscribers, though, too, is creating that kind of hype.
We didn't create a vacuum on purpose, dude. We were trying to set something so we didn't have to do it. And then suddenly they went, well, screw you guys. Here's 500. We want a 12-hour stream. So 4 hours before Christmas, we're about to wrap up our last Countdown to Christmas stream to do our big Christmas stream. And suddenly we hit 500 and we go, looks like we lost a bet. So it was like a week later we did the 12-hour stream. but he got so sick of streaming after 2 weeks of everyday streaming, or it was like a week or two, something. And then a 12-hour stream, and we came back from that, and he just didn't.
Well, that's one of the things I know about content creation too. Is like, I mean, we've experienced it with this. I know I've tried to do YouTube channels before, and I know you have that experience. It's so easy to get burnt out on that kind of stuff. It's just, it makes it to where it's kind of hard once you get to that point. Like, once you hit the point of you no longer want to do it, it is so hard to convince yourself to get back into it.
Right. Well, even the thing about well, I'm not going to say live streaming is easy, but I will say it's a lot easier than having to come up with, let's say, a topic for a podcast or an idea for a video. Live streaming, you can just wing it and go.
Yeah, live streaming, you're a lot less worried about things going wrong because you're live. You're like, whatever, we know what we're supposed to say. Yeah, it's just like move it along.
But here's the thing too. When we streamed, there was only one thing that we streamed that got people really coming in, which we were a smaller channel, so every view mattered. And so it was going, well, if we have, which it was insane. We were like, if we have 60 to 80 viewers at a time when we do this one thing and it drops to like 10 when we do something else, well, we got to stick with the one thing. And he got sick of doing that same thing over and over and over and over again. And I wasn't really there for the game itself. I was there more for like, hey, we're here to chill and have fun.
You're there to entertain, not necessarily. We're there to entertain. The game doesn't really matter.
But he got sick of doing the same game over and over, which, trust me, I never played those games, which I played those games all the time when I was younger. But I never played those games after we started streaming them just because we played them all the time.
Well, yeah, it's like one of those things.
It's like, I was bored of the games. But it was work.
Yeah.
It was a job. But it was an enjoyable job. So during the job, I was totally fine.
I know, if I could tell myself, like, right. Oh no, you play games for money. How dare you?
Well, when you play the same 10 mini games over and over.
Or you play the same game for like 8 hours in a row, it's just mentally draining.
Mm-hmm. So he got boring. Sick of that. But if I could tell myself one thing is I would have just rebranded the channel we had. And I would have taken off with that. Instead, I started doing streams on my own channel. But I was still like, we had a Discord. And I was like advertising in that one still. Because that's where the people were. But one thing I realized is a lot of those people were there for the dynamic duo instead of like one person going.
Not the dynamic Uno.
Yeah, not the dynamic Uno. And I mean, it's true because me and him, we bounce back and forth off of each other like crazy.
Yeah. I mean, having that extra person there really does help. It's kind of like I can throw if I'm telling a crap joke and I bounce it off with you, but you find it funny and find a way to be like, oh, haha, this is why. You know, we can kind of bounce off of each other.
But you know what's funny? I've streamed, which I haven't streamed in a while, but I streamed everything from Minecraft to Rocket League to fill in the blank random games. Yeah. You want to know my most successful game on solo streaming was?
Payday.
No, I haven't streamed Payday. Oh,
really? You should, honestly.
I think streamed Payday solo. I love streaming Payday. It's just no one watches it, so I end up just kind of playing it. Like, I'm not, there's no one to talk to, and then no one joins because there's no one to talk to, so I end up just playing it, so I just go play it then. My most successful game was Plants vs. Zombies. And I'm not kidding. Because like, I would start going through and just playing, and this was also like I would tell some stories occasionally. Yeah. And oh my Lord.
What you got to do is you got to get on as the nut, and you're just like, hey guys, look how nutty I am. Look how my dad jokes anyway.
I haven't streamed in a while because my computer sucks now. It's old, but anyway,
light it on fire, move on.
Well, I need a computer.
So, I mean...
But anyway, what about you? That would be mine. Like, don't give up the grind on streaming. Because especially if, I can't control him, but if me and him had been streaming, this was 5 years ago. If we had kept streaming since then, I couldn't imagine how big we'd be right now with that growth that we had.
I mean, you guys hit 500. Once you hit 1,000, that's when a channel really starts to kind of carry itself. Before that, before that 1,000 viewers is when you really
And we
have
were
the problem.
making insane amount of money for only having a couple hundred subs. Imagine how much that could be
I mean,
now.
Twitch is lucrative anyway.
This was on YouTube.
Really?
This wasn't even on Twitch. If this was on Twitch, we could have been partners. We could have been really growing.
I mean,
this was on YouTube, Colton.
My streaming career died with Mixer. Cursed you.
I remember you told me that you streamed on Mixer.
Dude, I got so popular and then I died.
Because Mixer spent all their money on Ninja.
Yeah. Just screw you, Ninja.
If anyone's unaware, Mixer bought Ninja from Twitch, basically, and they had a contract, and the contract basically said, and if any of y'all don't know, Ninja streams Fortnite on Twitch.
Which,
if you live under a rock.
He makes all of his money from children that play Fortnite. Like, he is
But
literally...
he makes all of his money from subs,
Yeah.
which is like at the lowest level, $5 a month. But when you
children
have
that play Fortnite.
yeah, exactly. But $5 a month, if you have 300,000 subs, that's suddenly 1.5 mil a month.
Yeah.
Half of that goes to Twitch. You're making 750,000.
Oh,
but anyway,
yeah.
Mixer. The agreement was Mixer has a multi-year contract where they pay him some sort of salary per year, and it's like over the course of these years, it's like
dude,
millions and
he
millions
made
and
out
millions
like
of
a robber.
dollars.
Like, he got to keep all the money from Mixer because they still had to honor his contract, and he got accepted with open arms back to Twitch
Because he was
with
making
a new
Twitch.
contract.
Because he was making Twitch so much money, but
Yeah.
Mixer, I forget why they died. Just no one came over. Microsoft thought they could get a quick one.
It literally, they tried to fight Twitch.
You can't fight Twitch.
You can't fight Twitch. No.
Well, Twitch is being
Twitch
really
has its
stupid
own problems. No, I mean, it has its problems, but it's so...
It's already so ingrained.
It's such
has
a monopoly
strong
in and of
roots.
itself and what it does. It's so hard to fight it. YouTube's starting to fight Twitch, though. But
YouTube is having a rough time fighting Twitch, though. Which says a lot because it's YouTube, and Google is having a hard time fighting Twitch, which is a bunch of weebs. Like, let's be real.
Do not underestimate the katana. Do not.
But I mean, Ninja, they sold out in 4 months? So
Yeah,
Ninja,
basically.
they had to pay out that multi-million-dollar contract all at once.
Yeah.
And then he went back to Twitch where everyone came flooding back like, you're back, here's our money.
Yeah, and then Twitch just paid him another multi-million-dollar contract. Like, Ninja had it made.
The amount of money I would give if all I had to do was play Fortnite.
Honestly, I'd do it. I'd sell out in a heartbeat. Call me what you
if
want.
I was making that much money just for playing a game, give me any game. I would play Slime Rancher over and over for that much money.
Anyway.
Okay, Colton.
Back to the...
Let's ask you, what would... And you can name your own age. You said 10.
You know what? I feel like it's 10 because out of everything that happened to me, I spent... this gets a little bit more serious now. But
okay.
I spent about 10 years of my life just being a super, reclusive social person. Like, I always had a hard time whenever I was younger. I ended up having a lot of social anxiety. Mm-hmm. So one thing I could tell myself when I was younger is to lighten the hell up.
Yeah, fair.
I took myself way too seriously. I was like that. I was that loner, grunge kid. I had.
Oh, no.
I had the friends that were back in middle school. Some of them were talking about doing drugs, having parties.
In middle school?
Yeah, no. I literally
What?
had one kid. His parents were just god awful and probably needed to be
reported to CPS.
yeah, something. Because he would always come to school and talk about having a bunch of girls from the grade over and them just drinking and stuff like that. And it was just dude, it was
That's fake.
No, the thing is I was as a 10-year-old, I didn't you don't know any better.
You don't know any better.
I'm fresh in middle school. I'm just like, man, that's so cool. I want to be like him.
Oh, that reminds me. I was in 6th grade, and there was one of the dudes that visited his grandma at my apartment complex, and he had this. I think he was a grade or two above me, and he had this wild story. I didn't believe it, but it's along those lines. He's like, you know that one chick from Wizards of Waverly Place? And I was like, yeah, I don't remember her name. Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, her name's Selena Gomez. I went to a Disney park, and I was like, okay. And he's like, she was there, And I was like, okay. And he was like, there was a backstage pass winner. And it ended up being me. And I'm like, okay. I had asked what the stage was because I just wanted to see where the story was going. And he goes, I got to go and like backstage and I was alone with Selena Gomez. And I forget what he said built up to it, but he was like, I got to make out with Selena Gomez.
That is so cap. That is, I am calling. That is cap.
And here's the thing. If you're going to lie, go big,
You know what? If you're going to lie, I would 100% go with that lie. I would have been like, yeah, I made out with Selena Gomez.
But every one of us was sitting there, and we were just like, I know
Who's
we're
gonna
young.
question you? Like,
well, I questioned it, but everyone around me was like, no way!
You're right.
Like,
No.
you're kidding! And he's like, no, I'm not kidding! And I'm just there like, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, you're not kidding, but you're lying.
Yeah.
Like, you're something.
Because he started it off being somewhat believable. I'm like, I don't know what she would be doing as a Disney park where you get a backstage pass, but anyway.
Yeah. Dude, that's funny.
Yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
hilarious. You reminded me of that. I forgot I knew that.
Dude, I was.
But anyway, back to your.
I was this cringy.
Middle schooler.
I was this cringy middle schooler, and this is about 6th to 7th grade that I was just the worst. And I had like the weird friends, and then like they'd move away. There was one kid that I always used to try to also be like the protector of the school. So like if I saw somebody getting bullied, I'd go over there and I'd go beat them up or whatever. And dude,
That reminds me of
just
one of your
loner.
stories.
Yeah, no, it was so bad. I think there was one day, and I remember this vaguely. I walked into class and this other kid, he actually ended up going to juvie.
Oh, wow.
Right after, yeah.
Yeah,
so
he went to juvie. I took him.
I took him there myself.
I drove him in Selena Gomez's car.
And Robert Downey Jr.'s private jet. I took him there.
I took the Iron Man Mark I armor. Built straight out of the cave.
He showed me how to make it. Dude, actually, so it's funny that you mentioned that. One of my friends back in the day tried to say that he had Iron Man armor that got brought to him.
Like legitimate armor,
Yeah,
not like I have a model.
No cap. No joke. He was perfectly serious. He looked me dead in my eyes and he goes, "Man, you won't believe I got it actually." And I was able to fly around and I was just like, and as a kid, you're just so mesmerized. I was a stupid kid. I wish I was saying I was like the one that was like, oh no, that's a lie. No, I was just like, really? Oh my gosh, that's so cool, man. Man, no, me and him, we had a funny thing going too, where we had like a make believe thing, and we basically pretended like we were secret agents.
Okay, that's cool though.
Yeah, no,
that's
like,
something you do as a
thing.
kid. That's cool.
No, we named the organization the Disguises and everything like that. We had like
The
this
disguises.
dude. Yeah, no, it was cringy, but it was fun.
That's cringy, but for that age,
so-
that's fun though.
What's funny is I actually or about that is I met him later, and jokingly I said, "So whatever happened to the leaders of the organization?"
What did
And he
say?
goes, "Oh yeah, they got disbanded." I was just like,
Wow, he didn't even go along with it.
No, it was like we had a short conversation about it, but like we both yeah. It was kind of like a hey, remember the old times? He was like, yeah.
I would have been. I would
Yeah.
have gone for it. I guess that's me though.
No, but I was just like about 7th grade. I turned into a real loner. I just didn't hang out. My friends had moved away, and I just became like that one kid, that quiet kid that sits in the corner, doesn't talk to anybody.
Bruh.
And I ended up becoming a social recluse even to beginning a college, and I think it really hurt me. Because, everybody, like, can tell. People can tell that you seem like, oh, yeah,
Everyone can look at you and go, man,
Yeah.
you were the awkward homeschooler.
You're a
even if
weirdo.
you were public
Yeah.
schooled.
Yeah, I know CAP helped out a lot with that, and I really was able to get out of my shell a little bit more, but I was
True.
I was bitter to the world for no reason. Like,
I
had
can
a few-
confirm this. When we first started
Yeah.
college in those first couple semesters,
I had
there
few,
was something.
I had a few like girlfriends that had gone bad, and like I just for whatever reason I just had a hatred towards the world. I was just like, no, I don't want to. Like I'm cooler than everybody else. I'm big and bad, and a little bit that had probably contributed to this is like as a teenager I worked in security and then like I did other stuff, so I'd seen like really I had seen people that were like super not the greatest, but
Understood.
if I had to go, if I had to go back in time, I think that's what I'd change though, is just tell myself to lighten the hell up.
Yeah. For me, it would be the exact opposite when it comes to that sort of thing. I know I already said my 2 cents, but
I mean, yeah,
I was the exact opposite. I dropped the stool. Wait. No, so I was more of the social butterfly. And here's the thing. I was a homeschooler.
Yeah.
And I lived in an apartment complex with old people. And I'm not saying my parents are old, but like everyone there was old. So like I occasionally would get like their grandkids move in for like a summer or like the school year or something, which now that I think about it, it's kind of weird. But anyway, like, cause it was consistent. Like, oh, hey, this person's all of their grandkids are moving in for a year. Like, what's happening in this year? And like after that year, they're gone forever. It's like you never see them again. I went, wait a minute, like what? And
it's like children of the corn, but children of the abandoned retirement home.
Sure, yeah. So, but that happened, and it was always different kids. But this happened for like years and years straight. But then, like, I got into high school, and I actually middle school. I got into middle school.
Yeah.
And I found like my couple of, I'll call them co-ops, even though they're not really. I found my couple of places, and I was a social butterfly, and by accident, I would be the center of attention no matter what. And
so, you know what's funny about this, and I'm starting to realize in our stories together, is as kids, we were totally yin and yang.
Yes,
I was the anti-deer.
You were the guy that was antisocial and just over in your own corner. And meanwhile, I was in the middle of the room like, how did I get here?
It
hey,
makes
everybody.
Perfect sense. We're friends.
Yeah, I know. We're total opposites. Well, here's the thing. Because you would think, like, oh, you only end up in the middle of the room because you tried to get there. But, like, whatever. I'm just friendly. We need cameras. We need cameras.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah.
I would just be friendly to people, and then suddenly I'm there. Like, okay, the perfect example is the band story, the look he just gave me. The perfect example is the band story where me and, like, my best friend, then, like, through middle and high school,
we talked about this. Your imaginary friend isn't your best friend.
Oh, dang, man. Well, if everyone else saw him, does that mean my band was imaginary? Did I just go to that church just for no reason?
That was my band name, the imaginary caution, dangerous steps.
Did you just have a seizure? Are you okay?
I'm fine. It's whatever.
Caution, imaginary steps, just like your point. Anyway, so... Oh, that took him a second to sink in.
That was a
low blow.
You know what? We're not cutting that. That was a live brain fart. We'll just go ahead and keep
we'll
it
keep it, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were opposites, man. And then college hit. Didn't we grow pretty close over like?
Yeah, we. So I
forget.
In college, I think we started talking about like.
Weren't we both?
I told you I had like bad breakups or I had weird girlfriend stories, and that's actually what we started talking over. We just.
Did we really start just talking about our breakups, and that's how we got close?
it was breakups and CAP. I remember like we were both of us were talking about our experiences in CAP, and then we were just like, oh yeah, this is a girl I had problems with, and you were going through your breakup with, and there's a noticeable cut. Da-da-da.
Okay, well, so it was CAP and ex-girlfriends. Awesome.
Yeah, CAP and ex-girlfriends. I think that's what a perfect way to bond.
Military and ex-girlfriends. Yeah, that's why we're woo. Yeah, and that's why we're in the recording booth today. We thought we had it bad at school, dude.
Dude, like I remember we were always, honestly, I think we were both a little cringy whenever we first met too, because like both of us were almost like, oh yeah, life's so bad. I know I was still going through like that depressed like. Phase. Like I had just broken out of my shell and I was still trying to like I was still very angry for no reason, just at everything. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I've grown as a person a lot.
There you go. Well, I think what happened was we both got out of the grade school, and we got into actual college.
Yeah, you're
and we
fresh
both
out of high school.
we
You
both
have that,
were
like-
at the extremes of super social and antisocial. And we both got beaten towards like the middle of like just be normal.
Just be normal.
Because like I was sitting there like, why does no one want to like talk and be friendly and stuff? And then you're there like, why is everyone talking and being friendly and stuff? And we're
just
both
like-
in the same middle ground, but from those perspectives.
You're just like getting your spirit crushed, and people are just like, "Be happy, you emo freak." Beat him with a hammer. Anyway,
We have
Yeah,
a
we'll
lot
keep
of
it in.
editing to do on this one.
nah, not really. We just have the two that we. Oh, this conversation.
This conversation, the first one, the second one.
You know, I'll leave this conversation in here.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to be funny.
Just to be, well, what you think is funny?
I mean, is really any of this funny? Are we funny? Why are we here?
Anyway, thank you for accepting the moment.
Welcome
No, so
back, and come back next time when we have an existential crisis on what's happening with this radio show.
if you were to have another one, would it be your next essential crisis?
Your pre-essential crisis. If you have it before.
Can you have an essential crisis?
I thought I said existential. Did I say essential? Is
Well,
it
you said
essential to this
pre-essential.
conversation?
No.
Okay. Okay. I think that's about all the time we have for today.
I guess so.
Well, thank you guys for accepting the moments with us today. I've been your host, Colton.
And I've been Josh, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.